Right, now before I get on with building the base for the new build modern tiny house, I'm going to very quickly explain to you how I'm able to make more money than a majority of developers or people in property. And that's not my opinion, it genuinely is a fact. I've sat down with developers who are very, very well known, and they look at the profit margins of my brother and my projects, and they cannot seem to understand how my brother and me are able to do it. I've got a very small example for you right now, but you need to really think and apply this to, say, a massive project. If you're building 10 houses on a plot of land, just think about how the numbers start to add up on that. And even on the small level of like just this tiny house, already someone would have paid someone to design the frame layout and how it's all going to work. I've designed that all myself. The cost is zero. Secondly, there's going to be a labour cost. People normally would get a few people in to build something. On this project, I am the labour. Therefore, the cost is zero again. What starts to get really interesting is when you start buying materials. For this example, I'm going to be buying quite a lot of timber. Right off the bat, how is it, Chris, you know how much to order? Well, I draw it all on SketchUp. I measure it all out and I figure out exactly how much I need, and I start imagining where all the cuts are going to be. And the reason why is to try and minimize the waste. If you're minimizing the waste, and obviously when you're buying timber, you're paying per meter. If you've got a meter off cut on every length of wood, that's going to add up to being quite a lot of money, especially dependent on the size of the timber that you're ordering. So once you've figured out exactly what you want, you're obviously going to have to order this timber. Now, there's 3 ways that people do this. The first one, it shocks me how many people I've spoken to who will literally go on a builder's merchant website and they'll click add to basket and then go check out and pay. So they're seeing the price that's on these websites and they're taking that as fact and they're buying it. And you're going to see why that's so ridiculous. So for just proof of this example, I actually went on the local builder's merchant to me, which is Jewson's, and without a trade account or anything, I just added everything to the basket and it came to £1,205.40, including tax. Always remember tax. If that is what you do, you need to change that immediately, because you, my friend, are just getting mugged every single time. What you should be doing instead is grabbing your phone, finding the number on your local builder's merchant's website and saying, "Hi mate, do you mind if I grab some prices from you quickly for a project that I've got coming up in the next few days? It's like a new build project and it's like going to be the first order of a lot of them." Now, why say about the project that you've got going on or the fact that there's going to be a few orders? Well, if you think the person you're speaking to wants your business, and if you're going to be coming back for a lot more business, they're going to give you a better price. Now, usually at this point, they're going to ask you if you've got a trade account with them, and to just prove a point that you don't actually need a trade account, I said, no, I don't believe in trade accounts. They end up just giving me a load of rubbish 10% discounts. And what I've always done is I just call people up and get the best prices that way. The guy goes, "Yeah, it's fair enough. Don't worry about it." So yeah, this is the best price I can give you. And this is from Jewson's. They gave me £554 compared to the shocking number of people who actually go on builders merchant websites and just press add to basket and order it. That is already a saving of like £700 for just picking up the phone, calling the same company, getting the same materials, and all I've had to do is invest 2 minutes of time putting the order through on my phone. Some of you are going, "Oh, that's brilliant, that's a great amount of money, I'd be happy with that." I'm not, I'm cheap. So what I do then is I have a list of all the local builders merchants and I start calling them all up and I start bouncing that person's quote off that person's quote, because how do we actually know 500 quid is a good price? Like, obviously compared to their 1200 quid, that's a very good price. But compared to other places, like maybe you go to Wix, maybe you go to Selco, maybe you go to Travis Perkins, how do you know if 500 quid is truly the best price? And they were all coming in at around like the 500 quid mark. Some of them were like, "Oh, you got 550 from that person, I'll give you 520. Now, what ended up happening is I went through the list of builders merchants. It's always typical. It's the last person I called that day. And I said, "Hi mate, I've got this new project I'm about to start. I'm going to be ordering quite a lot over the next few weeks. Do you mind giving me some of the best prices you can do on some timber?" He said, "Yeah, of course, sure, no worries. What are you after?" And I said, "I need X, Y, Z." He then goes, "Okay, cool. The best price I can do is 380 quid. So remember, we were at 1200 quid just for the online website. Then we're at 550 for exactly the same thing. No trade account, just with the same company. But the only difference is I called up and asked for the best price. Then we're around the 500 quid mark. And now calling up another builder's merchant, I was at 380 quid. I said, "Thanks a lot. I'll probably give you a call back tomorrow and order that." The next morning, obviously looking at all the prices I've got, I called back and I said, "What did I actually say to get more money off it? Can I speak to so-and-so?" Always write down the person's name who you get the quote from. And so yeah, I said, can I speak to so-and-so? And I was like, oh yeah, I called you yesterday for some prices. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember you. And I said, I'm going to be ordering quite a lot over the next few weeks, and I'm just wondering if there's anything else you can do on the price to just make it a little bit better, because I don't want to get to the end of my project and be like, oh, I've just spent 15 grand more than I needed to. And the guy laughed and said, yeah, don't worry, I completely understand it. And I got it then for, wait, let me just check on my statement, 320 quid including tax. That's a saving of 60 quid for just asking the exact same question again. And the reason why is these people, they want your money. And if they give you a good price, the chances are you're going to go back to them. And there's a load of competition. And that is the key with like haggling and getting money off things, is you can't haggle with something you're not prepared to walk away from. It's never going to happen. So that was £1,205 and I'm paying 320 quid. That's a savings of £885. Now you might be thinking, yeah, Chris, that's not that much money. Well, when you times that by what, 100 orders of that sort of saving, you're at 88,500. The amount of savings that you do when you're applying this to like big building projects, the numbers are a hell of a lot more than 88 grand. But without going on about this too much, we're going to get on with building the whole frame sort of layout for the tiny house, which, yeah, I haven't really done this sort of frame before. So let's see how bad it goes in a bit.